Welcome to another episode, everyone. A Samoan, a Uso, and a Crip got into it. And this conflict ended in immense bloodshed. Well, this transpired right there in CYA, YTS, the Youth Training School. They also refer to YTS as the Gladiator School, and for good reason, because it is gang infested and also infested with gang violence. Many factions there in YTS. At this juncture, I was there. I got to YTS in September of 1992, and I paroled in January of 1994. I was 18 years old then when I got to YTS, and they put me on KNL. That's the unit that I was on. Brought you a few stories from YTS, and it's very vicious in there as well. It's just that the structure wasn't there. Enter the Samoan, who we're going to refer to as Biggie, and for good reason. He was a large individual, but Biggie tended to mind his own business, as does a lot of individuals there who are incarcerated and just want to keep their noses clean, do their time, and go home. This was Biggie. He was indeed a Crip, was Biggie, the Uso. But again, he was a very peaceful individual. Now, in YTS, we have sports, basketball and football. I was on both teams, basketball team and the football team. And it's full pads, helmets, cleats, everything, and you're going up against another unit, C&D, Eminem. I'm going to bring you some stories about these football games, this football league. It was just gang stuff right there on the football field when we used to go at it with one another. Biggie was on the team as a defensive end. We needed him attacking the quarterback. Though he was peaceful by nature on the football field, he would transform into something else. Tiny Cuz, this is what we're going to refer to him as, because this individual was very small. And I believe Tiny Cuz from Harbor City, Crip. And he also was on the football team. Why exactly? I'm not sure, but he was there. And he began to have animus towards Biggie for some reason. Ironically enough, the smallest dude there in the unit was picking on the biggest individual there in the unit. Indeed, Biggie was bigger than myself. And that is saying a lot. We were all young at this time. Biggie could not have been any more than 21 years old. And Tiny Cuz was perhaps 22 or 23. You could not be older than 25 and still be there in YTS. At that point, you have to be transferred to prison. So everyone there is under the age of 25. And Tiny Cuz begins to make statements to other Crip individuals in the line of, who does Biggie think he is? He running around here pressing his weight. It's like he's not even one of us. He's not even in with our car like that. I suppose he's saying this because he's an Uso, a Samoan. But no one is agreeing with him. Biggie is not pushing his weight upon anyone. This man he goes to the football field, practice or plays, and goes back to his cell. You rarely even see him. You rarely even hear him speak. He's so quiet. So no one understands where Tiny Cuz is coming from. What's his issue? Because Biggie's not bothering him. We know this. But Tiny Cuz is persistent. Unequivocally, he is stating that Biggie is irking him for some reason. Essentially, his homeboys tell him, just chill out and leave Biggie alone. One day there on the football field, we're out there just having practice like we normally do. In full pads, helmets, shoulder pass, the whole nine. And these football practices do indeed get violent at times. Though we are all on the same team, we want to root out the weak individuals. And so these individuals there on the football field, and these were gang members, steeply involved in the gang culture and wanted to assert their dominance even there on the football field. So during practice, you will find these individuals hitting you hard, taking you down. We're all in the same unit together. Right now, we're all on the same team. But it was no holds barred. Biggie hit Tiny out there on the football field. Wasn't a hard hit. It was not malicious. We're all on the same team. We were just out there practicing. But he did hit him. It doesn't take much to knock Tiny down. So he hit the ground. That's to be expected. Biggie is a well of a man. Tiny takes umbrage. He's not happy. He's upset. You have your helmet on. What's the issue? He was trying to go up against Biggie. And Biggie just got tired of it and knocked him on the ground. We can all see that he was picking on him again. Now you're upset. Tiny cuz, really, he did have a lot of heart. He was just out there. He approaches Biggie and lets Biggie know that he is unhappy with what just transpired. You didn't have to hit me like that. This was personal, is what he tells Biggie. Biggie said, man, we out here practicing. We playing ball. You kept coming up against me, man. Come on, man. Watch out with all that. I'm getting tired of you, is what Biggie conveys to Tiny Cuz. Tiny Cuz took off his helmet and had it in his hand and was rocking it back and forth. Like he was about to hit Biggie in the head with the helmet. I said, this is nasty work. This is crazy. Come on, man. So he got his helmet and he tell Biggie, man, you better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. I'm telling you now, cuz, you better watch out. But Biggie, he's not backing down. He's standing there like, no, you better watch out. Biggie done took his helmet off now. But really, if I'm being honest, the Crips sort of came behind Tiny Cuz in that moment. As if they had his back, at least a few that were there. Bear in mind, Biggie is also a Crip. Should be no favoritism here. But that's just not how it goes. But they do recognize that Tiny is the one instigating and trying to foment violence. Biggie stood down. Tiny Cuz told Biggie, we have to get down. I want to squabble you. It was really laughable because there's absolutely no way that Tiny Cuz had a chance in hell of winning this fight. It is literally impossible. I know that people say that size does not matter. I beg to differ. If it's Shaq versus Kevin Hart, I'm taking Shaq. I got my money on the Diesel. And I have my money on Biggie. But Biggie doesn't want to fight. And he lets that be known. He tells Tiny Cuz, he goes to shake his hand. It's all good. Tiny Cuz doesn't want to shake his hand. He's hell-bent. Now, I'm convinced that Tiny Cuz is up to something. That he plans on getting Biggie in the cell and busting him down, as we would call it. Whipping out the blicky, the burner, the weapon, the equalizer, and stabbing him. There's no way he can be literally contemplating fighting this individual head up. Well, he's off of his rockers. So the Crips tell Tiny Cuz as well, man, just stand down, bro. Dude ain't trying to squabble you. No fight happened right then and there. A couple of days or so go by, and Biggie eventually comes to the Crips. A few of them anyway, and let it be known that Tiny is continuing to be an irritant. He's deliberately instigating stuff, making comments, just being hostile towards him, and he doesn't understand it. And the only reason he hasn't fought him is because he's convinced that the Crips are going to jump in and take Tiny Cuz's side. And plus, he's a little dude. But right then and there, after he was explaining some of the things that Tiny Cuz was doing, the Crips told him, we don't have Tiny Cuz back. That's the homie. But you're the homie too. You're a Crip. You're one of us. If you fight whoever you want to fight. We got your back, just like we got Tiny Cuz back. Nobody's going to jump you. Tiny Cuz is bothering you. He keep asking for this, and he the one called you out for a fight. Apparently, he's not worried about his size, so you shouldn't be either. He wants to fight you. Go ahead and fight him. We don't care what happens. If you beat him down in there, we're not jumping in. We promise you that. He wasn't sure if it was a ruse or a ploy, but he took their word for it, did Biggie. And finally, the die was cast. And it was set that Tiny Cuz would come into Biggie's cell after dinner or during dinner. That's the time really where you can have some of these squabbles. And Tiny Cuz, he went in there. I just knew, certainly, again, this individual was possessing weapons. No way. No one has that much heart. This is near the same as someone trying to blank themselves. This is a suicide mission. Biggie threw his stuff up when Tiny Cuz ran in there. I think Biggie also had a weapon, so he wasn't worried about it. And he had really had enough. He had really been pushed to his breaking point. He had let a lot slide, I know this for a fact, with Tiny Cuz. He did not want to fight him, and he had even said as much out loud at the risk of people judging him and everything else. I didn't judge him for it because I knew it wasn't out of cowardice. He just was a peaceful individual, and he didn't feel like it was worth the fight. Like, what's your problem? But now it's too late. It didn't got to this point, and he's lost it as well. Biggie, he don't want to talk either. He wants to get it in, and he has a weapon as well. If Tiny Cuz pulls out one, he's going to pull out his. And the Crips have already made it explicitly clear that they're going to stand down. I believe them. They were sick of Tiny Cuz's antics as well. Tiny Cuz runs in his cell, but he doesn't pull out a weapon. He goes in there swinging. He goes in there swinging at Biggie. Tiny Cuz. Oops. I'm sorry, man. Tiny Cuz went in there swinging at Biggie. He throwing some haymakers. Oh, man. And it was like a polo bear to an ant. It was no match. That was Biggie, which is like basically was holding Tiny Cuz off with his arm, toying with him, like the Three Stooges or something. like watch out. And then he just started tossing them around the cell like a rag doll. Biggie did. I swear to God. I'm sorry, man. That shit was funny because he was tossing them all around the cell. And Tiny Cuz arms going up like this. He was like lifting him off his feet. I said, oh man, if Biggie really wanted to hurt him, Johnny Cuz was cooked in there. Oh wow. He beat him down. Biggie, he beat the hell out of Tiny Cuz. Tiny Cuz had no chance. I was shocked that he didn't try to pull out a weapon. I thought that was his whole purpose. I didn't believe that he was going really go in there and try to fight this dude head up. But he did. He really didn't like Biggie. And he really thought, he was delusional. He really thought in his mind size didn't matter, that he can get him. Maybe he hit him, down there in the sack, whatever. He can crumble him. That didn't happen. He got tossed around that thing like a rag doll, all up in that cell. But Biggie still really had mercy on him because Tiny was down on the ground, like Tiny Cuz, holding all kind of stuff. Everything was aching. He was down there basically moaning, and Biggie was standing over him. He could have really dogged him out. I'm thinking he probably still was thinking he didn't want to go too far, because even though the Crip said they wouldn't jump in, they probably not going to let him just stomp him out and stab him up. And when he's down, they have to answer to that. But he's a Crip too, so I don't know. They stood down with all that, but he stopped there. Biggie stopped there. They had to basically help Tiny Cuz out of the cell and back to his cell and nurse him back to health. He eventually came to. I would venture to say that he was a different man after this. How you gonna be the bully? As opposed to Biggie, the one being the bully. It made no sense to me. But it's like that in there sometimes. People just have problems with individuals. They just don't like each other for whatever reason, or one individual doesn't like another one. I've heard this so many times. But I don't like that dude, man. For what? Why? What'd he do? You don't even know him. I just don't like the way he looked. Okay. This is how some of these beefs get started. Shout out to Tiny Cuz, though. He had a lot of heart, though. He did. He just was bothering dude. I don't know why. I still don't know what his problem was. I really don't. Oh, well, maybe, he probably just had a short man complex because Biggie was so big. And maybe he felt if I take down the biggest dude in here, people going to take me serious or something. Maybe that was his thought process. I'm not sure. But whatever he was thinking, it didn't work out that way. But shout out to him because he had heart, and shout out to Biggie. Shout out to the Uso. He was a good dude who was really just trying to mind his business. Those football games up there that we had with some of these other units, they resulted in melees sometimes. Gang melees on the football field. The basketball court, too, inside of the gym. We had basketball squads. Man, I'm going to have to get into some of that. That was crazy. Okay, but there you have it. Tiny Cuz, man down. For being an irritating this man for no reason. Man down. Man downed him. Touched everything in the cell. And it could have been worse for him. Stay safe and stay free. Let me know what you think in the comments, people.